Hello YouTube, this is Chris here, Bex Renewable Services. In today's video, I'm going to try to keep this short and sweet, but I've mentioned in several other videos, even in my last one that was about an hour and 19 minutes long, not my Mr. Blue Marble one, but the one before that, I believe was one of the last ones I mentioned it in, about Plato and how that's where this pagan devil model came from that didn't match the Bible. Didn't match God's word, of how all society up to that point had believed the earth was shaped and how God created it. A flat, biblical flat earth, the moon with a dome. The Bible says it's a firmament, a mirror as hard as cast bronze, and so on. But the moon, sun, and stars underneath that dome in Earth's sky. So when Plato decided in his pagan wisdom with his pagan gods of demons and evil spirit, or demons and the devil, which is what pagan gods are. They're the devil and demons pretending to be gods, which is who gave them their model. They shouldn't have the technology around 360 BCE or BC before Christ. They shouldn't have that technology to come up with the exact model that NASA has and that NASA pushes. Okay? They shouldn't. There's no way they should have that. Unless it's the same devil and demons that are telling NASA what to say the shape of the earth is, and the shape and the planets and solar systems and galaxies, that these all exist on this model. Okay, so it says around 360 BCE, when Plato wrote in his idea to account for the motions, he claimed that circular and the sphere were the preferred shape of the universe, and the earth was at the center, and the stars forming the outmost shell, followed by the planets, the sun, and the moon. Now, how would he know all of that in 360 BCE? How? With very little technology. Okay? That is absurd to think that with the little technology they had, they would have the exact same model that NASA pushes. The exact same. Yeah, NASA's added more things in with their CGI and cartoons and now AI and Hollywood props and stuff like that. They can add more stuff in that they couldn't add in. Okay? They had to keep it basic, short, and sweet because they didn't have the technology that NASA has and the billions and trillions of dollars that NASA has to be able to put together these fake images, which I'm going to show you in a minute, that some of them caught me off guard, that they didn't have that to be able to push it to the masses. So to push this devil model to the masses, they had to keep it short and sweet and somewhat believable. Okay? Something they can kind of show to the layman man and give because they're philosophers and they got this good schooling and they got all this money and they're the people that most people looked up to and everything. And then you also got to keep in mind too that around this time, a lot of these pagan cultures, like say Plato and stuff like that, they were people in high power. So if they told the layman man that the earth was round, there was other planets, solar systems, galaxies, they either one believed them because they thought they were smart, or two, they believed them out of fear, or both. But you explain to me how they have the same exact model and why they use the word preferred shape. Not the proven shape, preferred shape. So let's move on, shall we? So as you see, it's nasa.gov, and all I did was look up photos of Earth, NASA, and then I went on their official website and scrolled through. Okay, so this was taken in 1946, first photo of Earth from space, allegedly. The study of the Earth's atmosphere from high altitudes began in earnest after World War II on October 24th, 1946. Captured German V-2 rocket designated V-2 number 13 launched from White Sands missile range, carrying a 35 millimeter motion picture camera. After reaching a maximum altitude of 65 miles, it don't say above Earth, it just says 65 miles. Which in thinking about it from the Earth's surface up, 65 miles wouldn't be that high. It's really not. If you think about NASA's model and what they say, 65 miles is not that high. The camera fell back to Earth and was destroyed. Of course it was, upon impact, but the film survived. Okay, so you're gonna probably say, "Oh, that shows a curve." No, actually, it don't. It shows a pretty straight line right there, right along there. Looks like a piece of pizza, actually. Um, but NASA's really good at lying. But they've gotten so many people brainwashed that even when you show them and you tell them, I've had people comment, they agreeing and admitting that NASA's saying they fake it, but then they still regurgitate back what NASA says as gospel truth. I don't see a ball there, and they're really good at compacting usually their imagery. They'll either put it like that in the corner, or they'll cut off sections, so you only get a small little portion. Um, and with their CGI and their fakery and their Hollywood props and now AI, like I said, they cut off sections. So and they'll do the ribbon work. Go watch my last two videos; you'll see what I'm talking about. Um, Prior to this video here, and they'll piece together imagery, make it look like specific things they want it to look like, not that it actually looks like, and then say, "Oh, that's the curvature, because we said so." Okay, let's move on. Like this here, for instance, 1947, first images of Earth cloud cover from 100 miles in space. And they can never keep their story straight. 1 minute it's this many miles, and it's this many miles, and it's this. And they usually 99% of the time they speak in kilometers. It's a United States-based government agency, and they speak in kilometers, not miles. They do that because kilometers seem like it's a bigger number. When you convert kilometers down to miles, it looks like a much smaller number. And so if they that's another reason they falsify information. They're telling the truth. They're kind of telling the truth, but they're not telling the truth. And what I mean by that is if they would just say 25 miles or 100 miles like this here, 100 miles isn't really that far. And so 100 miles wouldn't be that high up in the sky. But if they use kilometers there, it would seem like they were way up off the ground. Anyway, 1947. First images caught a cover, 100 miles in space. Before Sputnik ushered in the space age, scientists conducting the Small Steps program in New Mexico pieced together these first images of Earth taken by the camera of the B-2 rocket more than 100 miles in space. Why does it look so close? Prior to the B-2 rocket launches, the highest point for making Earth images was 13.7 miles from the Explorer 2 balloon in 1935. Really? Again, my grandma used to, you can't keep up with their lies. My grandma used to always say, "Tell the truth, you won't have to remember a lie. There's nothing to remember." So before this picture, the highest point of making Earth images, not taking, but making Earth images, was 13.7 miles from the Explorer 2 balloon. So a high altitude balloon. So even then, in the 47, they were using high altitude balloons or weather balloons. So what's this image of 65 miles and 46? If the highest point up to this point was 13.7 miles, then this can't be a real image. Because 65 miles is higher than 13.7 miles. Not only that, look how they've cut off all the bottom. Like I said, they do. Same here. You can't probably see it because of all the words, but right here it goes all the way across. They've cut off all the bottom. Okay? They don't even have the images lined up properly. The clouds don't match the way they would in an actual photo. Okay? So again, more lies. So let's move on to the next one. 1959. Now, I've shown this image to somebody already, and they said, yeah, but it was moving, and that's why it's blurred, and this and that, blah, 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 blah. Okay. So, the Earth stopped to take a picture here. The Earth said, I'll stop and smile, cheese. The Earth wasn't moving here. It stopped us and smiled and said, "Here, take a picture of me. Make me look like a piece of pizza, a yummy piece of pizza." In 46, and in 47, and then supposedly in 59, the camera can no longer take moving images of the Earth anymore. Not only is it all streaked, so it could be anything. It could be just paint slapped on a black piece of paper, for all we know. And then where's the rest of it? Where? Where is the rest of this so-called ball Earth? 1959 first satellite image from the Explorer 6. The first picture obtained from the Explorer 6 satellite in 1959 shows a sunlit area of the Central Pacific Ocean. Its cloud cover. The picture was made when the satellite was about 17,000 miles above the surface of the Earth, crossing Mexico. Huh? How? How? Like, that doesn't make any what? No. So the next one really, 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 really got me. Okay. Same one, 1959, same year. Satellite, Explorer 6, same exact satellite. It's a globe, people. A freaking globe. With some of it erased out of the picture. And the reason I say it's erased out, because you get this little section over here that's visible. So this can't be a shadow. And then all of a sudden it's not shadow here. This has all been, looks like, drawn on with a pencil or a pen or something like that on top of a globe. When did planets, or when did the Earth, so-called ball Earth, have lines and words, seams, more lines, more words? When? Please explain to me when. And then they even put the fake stars behind it. Why would they go through all of that to put the so-called shadow on the dark part of the Earth, and which all they did was erase this section of it, you can clearly tell by right there, and then put fake stars behind it to make it look like it's floating in space, if they weren't wanting people to believe this globe is the actual Earth? A photo of the Earth taken from space. Why would they do that? Why wouldn't they just take a globe, write on it, TV signal received at Hawaii ground station, and say this was what the information they got back from the satellite that's hovering over the Earth, and they put it on there as an illustration. Why did they have to go through all the putting the fake stars and making it all dark like so-called space and making it that what? Apparently, people were way dumb, and according to them, they thought people were way dumb in 1959. First satellite images, Explorer 6, a cloud cover image prepared from meteorology charts, shows the area seen by the satellite television scanner. And I know I'm going to get people trying to twist this, but like I said, they could have did this in such a different way if they didn't want people to think that that was the actual image taken from space of a fake ball Earth. Okay. So let's move on. 1960, first television picture from space, Tyros satellite, April 1st, 1960. April 1st, April Fool's Day. Yeah, big April Fool's joke. But it's not a joke to them. They put it off as real. 1960, first television picture of the Earth from space. Tyros 1, the television infrared observation satellite. Tyros was designed by RCA. Is that RCA the audio or the visual audio stereo TV company? Is that the same RCA? As the nation's first weather satellite, it operated only 78 days, but enabled the first accurate weather forecasting based on data about the Earth, cloud cover, and weather patterns collected from space. Okay, now I'm going to point something out here, and if you haven't watched my other videos, the two before this, please go watch them, and you'll see what I'm talking about. This is what they're calling ribbons. NASA calls ribbons that they put together on images that they've taken simultaneously. So this is not just a snap picture of the Earth, just one solid picture like you would take a picture. So you got part of a circle, part of a circle, part of a circle, part of a circle. And how I get that is, see all these lines that go straight across? So you got ribbon, ribbon. There should be another ribbon right here. You can see the line that goes straight across. Another line that goes straight across. There's part of it right there. They've didn't get colored out. So you got another ribbon. You can't get a ball out of that until you put them all together. Just because you've got a straight line that's part of a circle Earth, another straight line that's another straight line, another straight line. That's what I mean. Straight is it's not curved. It's the straight, almost curved part of a circle. The Bible says God sits on the circle of the earth. If he sits on the circle of the earth, it's because, and the Bible says we live on the circle of the earth. So just because you take pictures that are parts of the circle of the earth and then put them together and manipulate them to make them look like a part of a ball, doesn't make them a ball. I'm sorry. So let's go to the next one. Now, I don't know if you see it there. You may not, but this is what they call subliminal messaging. This is in 1965, okay? So, if you don't see it, I'll point it out in a minute. This is the first complete view of the world's weather. So this is supposed to be the whole sunlit side of the earth at that time in 1965. The first image of the weather system over the entire sunlit side of the earth. That's pretty small for being the whole sunlight side of the earth. Wouldn't you agree? If NASA's model is correct and you got this huge, humongous, big ball, that's pretty tiny for being the whole sunlit side of the earth. Very tiny. Okay? Sunlit side of the earth is made up of 450 images taken by Tyros 9 over a 24-hour period on February 13, 1965. During each 2-hour orbit, 2 television cameras sent images to radio ground stations in Alaska and Virginia, which then relayed the data to Washington, where they were converted into pictures. So these weren't even pictures when they took them from the satellite. So how can these other images that they're saying is a full-on picture of Earth be a picture of Earth? They literally emit right there. Go watch my other 2 videos right before this one. You'll get what I'm talking about. They literally emit this. And then the subliminal messaging part is, I'll show you right now. Why on God's green biblical flat earth would you have a picture of the globe on the globe? Why? How could you take a picture of a globe and then have so many globes on it? You got one globe, perfect sphere. Another globe, 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 another globe right here, and another globe right there, and another one right there. So a total of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. 13, which is actually a pretty high number in the Illuminati. You know, you know. And there's 13 major bloodlines of the Illuminati. And there's 13 globes, fake images of Earth, put on a picture that's supposed to be a picture of Earth. Let that sink in, people. 1965, first view of the whole world's weather, Tyros 9, the first image of weather system entire, okay, sunlit image. I already read all that. So, yeah. And like I said, that's little. If that's the entirety of the sunlit section of the Earth, how is it so small on a NASA's fake ball model? Okay, another fake image. 1966. First view of Earth from Moon Lunar Orbiter. The public's first view of the Earth from the Moon was taken by the Lunar Orbiter 1, which was built by Boeing. So even in 66, Boeing was still building their so-called space equipment, space shuttles and stuff, and lunar orbiters. Why? That doesn't make any sense. To survey smooth areas of the moon in operation for surveyor and Apollo landing site. A total of 5 lunar orbiters eventually returned more than 3,000 images. First problem with this, you get the ribbons again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So you're telling me you're on the lunar surface, according to them, and you snap a picture full on facing the Earth, and you still have to cut it up and put it into ribbons? I'm assuming this is still going to be the 35 millimeter camera that they took on the moon landing, supposed moon landing, that they used in previous photos of so-called Earth, like the one, you know. So you're telling me that they can't get a full-on picture of the Earth. They have to ribbon it together like they do with the so-called satellite imagery. And not only that, they have to completely erase the whole bottom part. You can see they've erased it. That's all gone. There's nothing there. It matches this entirely. You can't see anything past this spot right here. This has been erased, photoshopped. Same thing with the moon, so-called moon. Ribbon, 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 all the way across. So you're telling me, again, you're standing on the so-called lunar surface, the moon's surface, and you can't get an actual photo without it being these ribbons, these multiple shots that you have to piece together from one solid photo? A 35 millimeter camera wouldn't have taken it in ribbons like that. It would have taken it with one shot. Okay? Okay. Now there's some major problems with this one as well. The 2015 Earthrise 2.0 Lunar Reconnaissance Orbiter. Okay? The image is simply stunning, said Noah Petro, who was the deputy project scientist for LRO at NASA Goddard, again with the capital G. That was always a no-go. Only God had a capital G. But that's the devil trying to play God. Anyway, Space Flight Center, when this unique view of Earth was taken by the Lunar Reconnaissance Orbiter, LRO, launched in 2009. LRO captured some 12 Earthrise daily, but it generally busy looking at the moon's surface on occasions such as this. Planets sometimes came into view as LRO pointed instruments into space. Atmospheric can't talk today. Observation and calibration. The image is composited of high resolution, black and white, narrow angled camera NAC and low resolution color wide angled camera WAC image. Okay. So again, they've gotten really good at covering up their lines usually and not having fake subliminal messages putting in where it's visible. But the problem with this one is here. Where's the Earth? Where's the bottom part of their ball Earth? It's cut off. This is the moon. Where is the bottom part of the ball Earth? Straight up, straight. It's kind of wavy, but still kind of straight. Dip down, up, up, up. And people are going to say, oh, that's the moon. That's the moon. No, it's not the moon. That is not the moon. This is the so-called moon right here. You can see it going all the way across where the line is right there. You can see it. Not this line here. You can see it. This is supposed to be the moon. Okay? This is the edge of the moon's surface, supposedly. So, where is the bottom part of the Earth? Hey, look, there's Gary. Looks like a snail. Anyway, so I'm going to go ahead and leave it there. Um, yeah, this one really got me. So I'm going to go ahead and leave it there. Use all the links in the About Me section. Rate, comment, subscribe. Much love. God bless. And I will see you on the next one.